I was a sophomore in college when I was assaulted.
I was only 4.
I've attended many parole hearings for my mother's killer.
I felt helpless.
But now I have a voice.
Because I'm not alone. Because I can.
ICANN Crime Victims Assistance Network provides comprehensive victim services, including counseling and assistance at parole hearings free of charge to victims and survivors of violence. Visit ican-foundation.org.
We're here to help.
The project was supported by funding awarded by Federal Grant Fund 2019-V2GX0053 through the Cal OES.
Many Wall Streeters are predicting the inflation plane is ready to take off. At Owning, we still have a few refi seats left with 30-year fixed 2.75% rate in APR with no closing costs on them. If the experts are right and the inflation plane flies high, APRs this low may be a distant dream. Don't mess around. Call 833-2-OWNING or go to owning.com before the refi market flies completely away from you. Maybe the experts are wrong and rates don't go up any higher. But if they're right and the plane is flying with mortgage rates reaching the 4s, you'll kick yourself hard that you didn't grab a seat now. Don't be a dummy. Save the money.
NMLS 2611, licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act. Subject to credit approval. Call 833-852-6464 for terms and conditions. Equal housing lender.
Call 833-2-OWNING for a 30-year fixed refi with a 2.75% rate in APR today. That's 833-2-OWNING or owning.com.
Alice at 97.3's Sarah and Vinny.
Alice at 97.3, Sarah and Vinny. Alice's morning show is Friday. Gotta get down on Friday. So good.
Yeah, we're in sync.
I know.
Cray.
Everyone's in sync. We're all in the same place. It's amazing. Where did Vinny go?
He's just ran to grab something, I think.
Oh, okay. In the meantime, I'll tell you who's bringing you the bad, the celebrity trash. It's the bad advice. Okay, Sarah, take a breath. I know you're excited because it's Friday. Okay, all right. I'll try and calm down. Here we go. Bad advice is a segment that we do on our secret show. Look, yesterday it was our first day back, and there were a couple things to work out, and it was difficult. I'm sorry to the people who were disappointed that was a short one. We actually have a turnaround time where we can't really. So it took us a bit. Anyway, if you didn't get to hear that one yesterday at 10 o'clock, you'll get to today because all 5 secret shows for the week drop as a podcast today. You can take us on a run with you or while you're doing the housework, what have you.
We'll call that one Whiny Grown-Ups.
Yeah, Whiny Grown-Ups. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, that's a great, can you put that as the title? Whiny Grown-Ups.
Yeah, sure.
Wah, things are hard.
This doesn't work.
Technology. Why can't we make this happen?
Right.
Anywho, did you see the picture of yourself up on Instagram yesterday?
Of me?
Yeah.
Where?
On the Alice 973 Instagram, just sort of the situation you found yourself in as we did the secret show where you were talking to the lip of a desk.
With the mic laying on the table?
Yeah. We're just going to lay the mic here on the table. You know, we don't have an arm for it. Just sit low.
I thought you meant I posted me trying to get more handsome before I went for my driver's license picture. There's me dumping my face into an ice bucket with my dog looking on. And you can tell my dog's over me. Like, she's looking curiously, but maybe with a little worry.
Yeah.
Like, what's
going
this
on with
guy
him?
doing?
And is he going to leave any of that water for me to drink?
And I didn't, because my face had been in it. I guess she would have been okay with that, right?
Listen, animals, if it's wet, they'll drink it.
Yeah,
like,
you're right.
There is the grossest water in our yard, like at the bottom of plant pots, you know, how it pours. It's just
and
like
the cats drink that?
Oh my God, they're just they want that more than the water the fresh water I put out in a clean bowl for them. They're like, we don't want that. And she doesn't. I call them she because I guess cats seem feminine, but they're both boys. And the cat only wants water when I have the tap going. Which of course I'm not gonna sit here and run the tap for you all day. We're in a drought, cat.
Maybe get a pump for them.
I know. I was thinking about that. I used to have one of those, but they get so gnarly gross. Like although it's not going to kill the cats. They drink right out of the disgusting dirt-filled tray. I should just let it get all green and who cares? I just feel like they've got to be getting microbes from that. That can't be good.
Yeah, Toddy drinks from puddles all the time.
Yeah, it's
on the floor.
Super gross.
Come on, man.
Puddles on the side of the street. I'm like, you don't know how many times a dog peed there. Stop it. God, the world is just full of excrement. Don't ingest that.
Germs out there.
Well, I mean, seriously, Like, who hasn't seen a puddle with like just like a rainbow sheen on it? You're like, oh, that's pretty. I wonder what that is. Yikes. Anyway, bad advice was what I was getting at. We'll take on whatever
Holy
problem and we'll
Toledo.
solve it for you. Just send your email to Bryn, B-R-Y-N, at radioalice.com. Put them in your favorites so that anytime you got a problem or just a story. I actually have just a really nice complimentary letter for us today.
That's always fun.
Made me feel really good. I saw it yesterday as, things were going on. I'm just like, and I look at my email. I'm like, oh, thank you. I want to change my outlook a little. There's some love. Speaking of love, some people love feet.
What?
Not Nikki. I know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know that it goes as far as a foot fetish, but Quentin Tarantino has been accused of having a foot fetish for years. Brad Pitt once even said, Quentin has separated more women from their shoes than the TSA. Hilarious. He's such a comic genius. Right. So while he denies it, he says it's just a directorial choice. Somebody put together a supercut of every foot scene in every Quentin Tarantino movie. I personally have never really noticed him to have a fixation on feet.
Me neither.
Maybe it's just, as someone's trying to walk quietly across somewhere, that's shown in a close-up.
Well, I have a question.
All right, go ahead.
Is it wrong?
Oh, certainly not.
Okay. I'm curious if that's what they're trying to say, though, that it's wrong. Oh, there's Uma's feet.
Yeah, there's Uma's feet. Oh, boy, he does focus right in on them.
She's got gnarled feet.
She does not have the most attractive feet.
But, so do I. I still have purple nail polish on.
Well, of course you do. You have daughters.
Well, no. What I learned, there's a lot of feet in this one.
There are a lot of feet.
What I learned is if I take the nail polish off, she will see it and go, oh, you need me to do your nails again. So I can't win. I'm better off leaving it until it wears off than taking it off because it'll get right back on. Yeah, I think he's just doing
We're looking
views.
at the supercut.
I don't have a problem with it though.
Yeah.
I really like his movies, but he is not someone that I care to listen to.
I'm with you. Isn't that funny? I actually really love most of his movies. And it's, but then when I hear him talking, I'm like, oh, God, someone shut that guy up.
Well, and the dumb crap that comes out of his mouth, too. He clearly feels so, oh, God.
We just watched the eyeball squish in Kill
Okay,
Bill.
well, then sure. He's got a foot fetish. The end.
Yeah, we'll go with that. He says, I don't take it seriously. All the foot fetish jokes. There's a lot of feet in a lot of good directors' movies. That's just good direction. Like before me, the person foot fetishism was defined by was Louis Buñuel. I don't know even who. I mean, this guy. Well, I'm sure Quentin knows all the obscure directors, right? Oh God, that.
Oh, that's a leg
awful.
flying by. One of the things that I got to make a couple films in college, and one of the things that's funny, or that I never really thought of, is all of the scenes that don't include, for example, these ones with feet. You don't need the actor on set.
No.
You can have anyone do that scene.
Yep.
And there were scenes where he's like, I'm supposed to be starting the car in this one scene. And he's like, we can use any hand. So you can go to work and we'll do that scene later. And I went, Well,
now they couldn't because you've got sleeves.
Well, right. But still, it was the first time I realized like, oh, now I see movies differently. Every scene that the actor's not actually in, they can have anyone do that.
I am noticing that he seems really into feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
As I'm watching this, it seems, oh my God.
I don't know that movie.
I actually don't feel like I know it either. There's a few there that.
All right. Well,
anyway.
Quite the supercut.
He says that Hitchcock was also accused of it, and Sofia Coppola's been accused of it. Accused of a foot fetish. I don't know.
I don't really care about someone who likes feet. I've never had a lady be into my feet in a way that was distracting enough.
Does that make
where
you
I
sad?
would. No.
Would you like someone to be into your feet?
No.
You don't want your toes sucked?
I wouldn't stop someone from doing it, but I've never been like pushing my foot towards their mouth, hoping for the best. Have you?
No,
Yeah.
I'm not into foot stuff at all. I got big old ugly blocky feet. I'm just not. I don't hate them. They service me very well. I'm psyched I have them, and I'm appreciative. Feet. I thank you for everything. But it's, to me, they're sort of like the bottom of everything. Like, I don't know. Right. There they are down there, pretty far away from.
Well, I don't think that's true. I mean, I know you're not a nail polish lady, and I know you're not. The feet are. You have big feet.
Yeah.
But I think they're pretty. There's nothing wrong with them.
Sweet.
They're not all gnarled like Uma's.
Do you want to suck my toes?
No, I don't.
Well, that's
But
disappointing.
I do think that Uma's got some pretty gnarly feet there.
And yet, they're Umas, so they're that much sexier than they would be. If that was just some random lady's feet with really long toes and all kind of like going different directions, it wouldn't be.
In
But
fact,
I think it's Uma. She's perfect.
Just to my point, Uma, because her feet are mangled, can't have someone else do those scenes.
Yeah. We know
people
what her
would
feet
go,
look like.
oh, that's not her.
That's not her. That's BS, man.
Yeah.
New Year's Eve, boy, we really are getting there, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello, I've told you.
NBC has
Merry Christmas.
Thanks. Happy New Year. NBC has tapped Miley Cyrus to host this year's New Year's Eve special. And Lorne Michaels, SNL, he's producing the thing. This is still not official, it seems, but they say the celebration will emanate from several cities over the course of the evening. There's talk that Miley would host it from Miami rather than New York City, which is kind of their traditional locale. Carson Daly has hosted NBC's New Year's celebration since 2004, with the exception of 2016. So I don't know if they're still considering him the anchor. The story here is really that Miley's going to be a part of it. They're not really saying, and that Carson fella, he's out. So I'm sure that'll get more fleshed out as we get closer to New Year's. Britney Spears is one step away from creating her own fans only fans, whatever it is.
Yeah, OnlyFans.
She's posting nudes.
Let me see that.
Well, she put little flowers over all her bits. Can you see that?
Oh. Wow, she looks incredible.
She does look really good, doesn't she? She's completely viable as a sex object. Like, I think
viable.
Yeah, I think here's a couple more where she's got her hands over.
And all this was posted to where on Instagram? What?
Yeah.
All right. And is the caption just a bunch of ramblings?
I am not looking at the captions here. I'm just looking at the. I'm sure they're long and awful. Playing in the Pacific never hurt anybody, she said. And look, she's allowed to post whatever she wants as long as it adheres to Instagram's, which they didn't take them down. But I'm not the only one who thinks that the conservatorship is still a good idea. That someone needs to just sort of look out for her. I don't know. I guess that's wrong of me to.
Oh, look at that. She really did post.
Yeah,
that's
her
a
post.
Color picture.
Yeah.
It's wow. All right.
I mean, she looks great. Some of the dancing ones that she puts up are just so she's like actively crazy, like actively insanity. It's
oh, she even says here.
Oh, tell me, are you looking at the caption?
Playing in the Pacific never hurt anybody. PSSSSSS, no photo edits. The tub curves. Ha 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 emoji.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. So in other words, I have done edits and there's a curve, so just so you know, this one
there's
I didn't
a
edit.
lot of this is okay, let me see how many photos this is.
I think she dumped like 10 of them at once.
She's
right?
she's prolific on there. You know, that's the shortest caption I've ever seen her write. She usually you have to scroll down to see the whole thing, and it's just one random sentence about nothing after another.
One post, 10 photos. She looks great, though. I have to say that,
Yeah, sure.
For someone who's gone through some tough times, she's looking good.
Yeah. What is she, 39?
No, let me check.
I'm not going to unpack this whole thing because it's
the
long.
Britney thing?
No. I'm moving.
Yeah,
on
she's
to the
39.
next story.
Speak up, Sarah.
Thanks. I read enough stories about her. It must be stuck in my head somewhere. I just want you to be aware that this Jeff Bezos thing is happening. There's an essay that was written by a woman named Alexandra Abrams. It was signed by 20 other former and current employees who have chosen to stay anonymous, apparently in the wide world. But it's an essay that Alexandra signed it, and she is the former head of communications for Blue Origin, which is Jeff Bezos's space company. She is alleging differential treatment for men and women. That it took one male employee an actual physical grope after tons of just kind of disparaging names for women, et cetera. Then many complaints against him. It took him actually putting his hand on someone to finally get fired. She also talks about how they were living in a state of fear. This guy wanted to beat everyone else up into space, and she feels that safety protocols were pushed to the side. And she said she was initially really happy to be working for this Amazon. Well, I guess it's not an Amazon company. It's its own company for Blue Origin and for Bezos. And as they got closer and closer to when this Blue Origin thing was going to happen, they felt so much pressure to, you get this done. Get it done. Because it's got to happen. And it didn't wind up happening first, right? Branson went up first. She says at Blue Origin, a common question during high-level meetings was, when is Branson or Elon going to fly? So competing with other billionaires in sort of a breakneck race. They're actually saying, too, I think that it's Bill Shatner. It is. Mm-hmm. William Shatner's considering a real-life trip to space with Blue Origin. He's 90, and he's been in talks to travel to space aboard the New Shepard rocket in October, and a source is now saying, that's not a done deal yet. Seemed like a done deal a couple days ago.
Oh.
So just so you know, this is out there. It's worth it. I read the whole thing, and it's powerful. They allege that she was fired, the woman who wrote this thing. They said she was fired over something that she let down, and she's written now to like the Washington Post saying, that's not, that I don't even know what they're talking about there. So they fired her at some point. So take that into consideration.
I'm sure could be. It's dependent on who gets put in charge. I'm sure almost entirely. But someone I'm close to who works in tech, this person's experience is that the older tech companies still have that old school boys club bullcrap going on, even though you look at tech and think it's a brand new business. Like in the last 25 years, it's right. And yet
there's some dinosaurs.
There's still some dinosaurs around pulling that crap.
Like, baby girl, sweetie,
or not listening when a woman talks and
right.
Or talking right. So there's that stuff. And then as you get into the newer companies and the companies that are trying to
actively trying to say that
do
is
a better
not
job,
allowed.
Right? There's so that's it is still around. I'm just surprised Blue Origin's new-ish.
Feels like it.
So I guess they must have reached back into the, as you say, prehistoric days.
Yeah. So I have no idea what will come of this, but it's worth a read if you're interested.
Sad to hear.
I was into it. All right, Vincent, what's coming up in the news?
Oh, so much stuff, and I don't know if I should. I'll do the Restless BH another time, right? I mean,
no. You're saying you'll do it like at 7:30?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Let's give everybody all right.
Spread it out.
Yeah. Spread it out, exactly. Spread that thing out.
Alice at 97.3's Sarah and Vinny.
I'm Erin Ryan, political commentator, comedy writer, and host of Crooked Media's Hysteria.
And I'm co-host Alyssa Mastromonaco, former White House Deputy Chief of Staff for President Obama.
Each week on Hysteria, we are joined by a team of hilariously opinionated ladies to discuss the headlines from the serious to the absurd.
We cover everything from reproductive rights to rom-coms and break down the political news of the week and cultural stories that affect women's lives.
New episodes of Hysteria drop every Thursday. Listen on Odyssey, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
I was a sophomore in college when I was assaulted.
I was only 4.
I've attended many parole hearings for my mother's killer.
I felt helpless.
But now I have a voice.
Because I'm not alone. Because I can.
ICANN Crime Victims Assistance Network provides comprehensive victim services, including counseling and assistance at parole hearings free of charge to victims and survivors of violence. Visit ican-foundation.org.
We're here to help.
The project was supported by funding awarded by Federal Grant Fund 2019-V2GX0053 through the Cal OES.
Many Wall Streeters are predicting the inflation plane is ready to take off. At Owning, we still have a few refi seats left with 30-year fixed 2.75% rate and APR with no closing costs on them. If the experts are right and the inflation plane flies high, APRs this low may be a distant dream. Don't mess around. Call 833-2-OWNING or go to owning.com before the refi market flies completely away from you. Maybe the experts are wrong and rates don't go up any higher. But if they're right and the plane is flying with mortgage rates reaching the 4s, you'll kick yourself hard that you didn't grab a seat now. Don't be a dummy. Save the money.
NMLS 2611, licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act. Subject to credit approval. Call 833-852-6464 for terms and conditions. Equal housing lender.
Call 833-2-OWNING for a 30-year fixed refi with a 2.75% rate and APR today. That's 833-2-OWNING or owning.com.